Welcome to this episode of the Million Dollar Mastermind. I'm Larry Weidel, and let's get started. I'm with Ivan Earle from South Carolina, and Ivan's graciously spent some time with me recently. We've been talking about things that he did, I did, you can do to really clarify and sharpen your thinking, which will clarify and sharpen your activity. And that leads to what you wind up getting, getting more of the things that you want done in your life that will get you where you want to go and get that excitement, get those rewards starting to become a regular part of your life. And we're talking about winning over and over again, quicker, faster, and better, like a cycle. And we're talking about serial winning. There's a pattern. The things you do consistently in every step of the way are the kind of things, are the kind of responses that create the opportunity for forward progress. And so, welcome, Ivan.
Thanks, Larry. I'm glad to be with you today.
Hey, it's always fun. We always kind of trigger ideas and things that, roads we've traveled in the past, things we've gone through with other people. And I was talking with my son, Adam, on a podcast recently. I don't know when it'll be posted, but about, being focused in the importance of a goal and goal setting. And, if you get the right goal, it's not hard to commit to it. If you don't have the right goal, it's hard to get yourself to commit to something you really don't care about. And why don't we spend a little bit of time hearing your thoughts about how you worked out the whole process of goal setting, having a vision for your life, having a strategy to get there to where you're going to throw yourself into it without any reservation. Making commitments like that. What kind of things do you tell people when you're trying to get them to see this clearly?
Well, I think the main thing is we got to get people to understand and be able to verbalize their vision. So when you really sit down with people and ask them, really what you're doing is you're having a conversation with them about what is it that they really want. How do we home in specifically on what it is you really want? Okay, maybe that's traveling, maybe that's getting out of debt, maybe that's being able to buy your dream home, maybe that's being able to pay for your children's college education. But you got to be able to define in exactly what it is you really want. And then the next step you got to put to that, as I found, is then you have to put a number on it. So you may have somebody be talking to somebody that they have a job and they're making $50,000 or $60,000 a year, and when you talk about their goals and dreams, and how much of those, how much money would they really need to be making for those goals and dreams to happen, and that number becomes maybe 150 to 200,000. Okay, so when will their current job pay them that kind of money? And the answer is never. So they say never. Okay, so but if your goals and dreams are serious to you, if that's something that truly, truly, truly you are committed to, that you want to see happen for your family, then unconsciously, they really already know they got to do something else different than their job. So bringing them to that and then setting up a game plan of, now we know what the goal is. The goal is to build you something that can pay you $200,000 a year so that you can reward your family with the things that you really want them to have. Now we got to go sit down and talk about what's the price we got to pay to get that. Now we got to put the ingredients You know what the cake is supposed to look like. We know what the cake's supposed to taste like. Now we got to go to the store. We got to go buy all the ingredients. We got to put the cake, all the ingredients in a bowl, stir it all up together before we put it in the oven and let it cook. And our business, that's recruiting. Our business, that's field training. Our business, that's a lot of different things to put those ingredients in place to make that thing cook like that. So then we got to get to how committed are you to the process? How committed are you going to be to the process? Or if the first thing go wrong, are you going to tuck your tail and run? Or the first thing go wrong, are you going to bail out on me? The first time things don't go your way, are you going to be ready to, turn in the tent and walk away and say it doesn't work? Are you going to develop, be committed to fight through adversity? Be committed to develop a positive attitude, because I think if most people's lives would change if they just developed a positive attitude. It amazes me how people live a life expecting bad things to happen, and then they expect for themselves to be reciprocal of the bad thing. I knew it was going to happen. Nothing good ever happens to me. Well, if that's the way you're going to think, that's the way you're going to live. So we got to develop a positive attitude. I'm always amazed because I play a lot of golf now. So when I talk to I call my friends up and say, let's play golf tomorrow. And they say it's going to rain. I said, it's going to rain? What you talking about? And I pull up the weather report, and the weather report was saying it's a 50% chance of rain. I'm like, y'all, it's a 50% chance it ain't going to rain. So why do y'all automatically jump to the fact that it's going to rain? So y'all don't even plan to go play. Well, me, I'll plan to go play. I just got faith that it's 50% chance it's not going to rain. And if it is going to rain, it's just going to be a little quick shower. It's going to move out the way. So it's not going to be able to stop us to do what we really want to do. So developing those things, Larry, is what I think is important for people to start going down this road of success. They got to have a goal. They got to commit to the goal. Then they got to develop a positive attitude that it's going to happen, or that they can make it happen, or that they can influence the outcome of it.
Yeah, and that they can be the main decider of whether or not that thing happens, not just circumstances and, like the weather or something like that. You actually can put on if you want to play golf, you can actually put on a rain suit and keep playing anyway.
Right.
In fact, if you go play in England, it's at least half of the time they're out playing, it's in the rain. And I can remember playing, and we had one chance, my nephew and I, many years ago, to play that course out at Kapalua, where they used to kick off the season out there. I forget, the Mercedes or whatever they called that tournament. We were playing that course, and it was torrential rain. But we knew this is our one day to play it. And dadgummit, we were playing it. And we wound up playing the whole thing. And we got wet, but we had the rain suit, and we had a great time, and I had a great memory, and we took advantage. We made it happen. So the thing what you're talking about is the transforming power of pushing yourself, thinking it through, writing it down, getting organized to where you can verbalize your vision. You can say what it is you want to have happen in your life. The most important thing, the thing you could get most excited about. And, to do that, you got to decide in your direction. That's what you were saying. Once you get that, you can put numbers on it, like you can start measuring your progress. You can hold yourself accountable. You can measure your progress. Also, you're making, it makes finding the goals you need to have along the way a whole lot easier. And that allows you to set up your activity. What actually am I going to have to do to be able to get to these points? It's like driving a car across the country. If I've got X number of days, I got to cover so many miles per day, and that means I've got to be at a certain town by nightfall. Now it's very clear. You can measure it, and it allows you to organize your schedule for success as you're headed across the country. You might see a sign, some caverns, some local tourist spots. But, if you've got a schedule, it's easier for you to keep yourself on schedule because in your mind, your big goal is to get across the country. And for that to happen, you got to be at a certain town in 4 hours. So it allows you to make the right decisions. Again, going back to that budgeting word you used earlier. And it also gives you the opportunity to decide, do I really want to do this? Because if I run into some reversals, I get some flat tires along the way, or I get some rainy days, am I just going to pack it in? Or you can decide in advance, once you have the picture out there, how you're going to respond when things go wrong way before they might go wrong, because you've already thought it through, because you had a specific picture. And so is that a good way of describing what you were talking about there, Ivan?
Absolutely. I think, if people really have a desire to be successful, they really want to be an entrepreneur, then, one of the big things that I've always done is, in this big world that we live in, probably somebody's already done it before.
Right.
Somebody's already been successful before at it. So why don't you find somebody successful, find out what they did, and copy it?
Right.
I don't think we all have to reinvent the wheel every time. I think we can use lessons that other people can teach us and guide us through, and use that to the road to success. Because if you try to do it all on your own, you don't know whether you're on the right road or the wrong road. All you know is you're on a road, and I would rather be on the right road.
How would you describe for people the difference? So let's just say we had two people in front of us, and we're eating lunch, and there's four of us, and one of the people have thought it through, and they can sit and verbalize the vision they have for their life. They can tell us, like, here's what I want to have happen. Boom, boom, boom. But the other person just wants more. They just are dissatisfied where they are. They know there's got to be a better life out there. They haven't really thought specifically. They just want something, and they're looking for some answers that'll help them somehow get more done, have more fun, have more success, but they can't really tell you why. If you got one person sitting in front of you that can verbalize their vision, and then another person who just generally wants to do better, what's the difference between those two people and their likelihood of being successful?
The difference is commitment. There's a difference between a commitment and an interest.
Yeah.
So the person that has thought it out is committed to the journey. The person who has not thought it out would just like to do a little bit better, but really don't know. They just interested.
Yeah. And where did that come clear, or when did you realize that?
I probably realized that after I had been in business for about a year. Okay, because I remember being in business for about a year, and I remember because of seeing the success that other people was having and knowing what I wanted my life to be like, I distinctly remember doing two things. Number one, I remember making a commitment that this is where I was going to plant my flag, and this is where I was going to either do it or not do it at, but I was burning my bridges. This was gonna be the thing that I was gonna use. I didn't believe that it was the only thing to do in the world. I didn't believe, but I believed that it was the thing that I was gonna do for me. So I believe making that total commitment is what did it for me. Which now you eliminate the other distractions.
Yeah, it's kind of like when I went to North Carolina. I told people, uh, if I go out, it's gonna be with a bang, not a whimper. Uh, if I fail, everybody's gonna know. Okay, it's not gonna be like, well, what happened to Wydell? You know, it's been 5 years. He just kind of faded away. No, if I fail, I'm gonna belly flop, and everybody's gonna hear about it. You know, because I'm gonna go out big.
Right.
But you have to put yourself on the line, don't you?
Yeah, you got to put your life on the line.
Yeah.
You know, because all of us have certain instincts that we will fight for survival. You know, that's a God-given instinct that if we're threatened, we'll fight for our survival, and we have an instinct to fight for our family's survival. So
Yeah.
once you make the commitment, you know, if you're the right person, there's not a price that you're not willing to pay to go make sure that the job get done. And when I say price, I mean, you know, hey, I remember working 14 hours a day. You know, I remember that becoming the norm. You know, I remember getting to a point where on my mind, I said, well, 8 hours a day is for survival. All over 8 is for success. You know, and you and probably put that in for 10 years.
Yeah.
You know, but which is paying the price, but you only have to pay that price one time.
Right.
And you get to receive the reward forever.
Right. And the thing is, most people that have stayed the course and fought through, it turned out so much better for them than they ever even imagined. The Bible says abundantly beyond. You know, you said, you know, I would have paid 5, 10 times the price, knowing what I know now. But it's a good thing I didn't know about it at the time, because at the time I thought I was giving it everything I had, you know.
Right.
But thanks so much, Ivan. This has been a whole lot of fun. And I wish you continued success with you and your organization. You got a lot of people coming up, building their own successful business. So you've been able to duplicate yourself and build a business that'll last for decades, and that's got to give you great confidence. And it started with the kind of principles and effort and thinking and energy that you put in right from the beginning. That goes to the core of the business you have built, and I know it's going to continue to thrive. So thanks so much. Do you have anything you want to say to wrap this up as a final word for our upcoming generation or our current generation that, you know, really feel like there's another gear they can find for themselves, and that's why they're listening to these things?
Well, one of the things I would like to say, Larry, is this: the danger I see is in the millennial generation and this new generation is they are growing up in a world that gives them instant anything that they want to see, information. Because of technology and everything, they can have it instant, you know. And what they got to be willing to do is to make a decision, find an opportunity, dive in, put the work in, and give their efforts time to compound. And what that really means is don't quit. See, the key to success is don't quit. Don't give up. Don't quit. And I promise you, they'll find success. They will find success, and they'll look back one day like we do and say they're glad that they did it, and they're glad that they didn't give up like everybody else. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Can't wait till I see you. Have a good day. All right?
Absolute. Thanks so much, Ivan. See you next time. Thanks for listening to this episode of $1 Million Mastermind with me, Larry Wydell. If I've helped you in any way, leave us a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts. For more information like this, listen to our other $1 Million Mastermind episodes and check out my Wydell Academy YouTube channel and visit us on WydellOnWinning.com. I'm the $1 Million Mastermind, and until next time, go, go, go.